So the $16 card, is it going to be any good? Today we're going to find out. Just had it delivered from Amazon. I'm going to pop it open and I'm going to give it a shot and see if it actually works. And if it does work, we'll see how good is it. Is it actually worth keeping and using? So what I've got for my test today is behind me, I've got the Handycam, the Sony Handycam, all set up, ready to go. It's got an HDMI out. It's actually got a nice clean HDMI out that I've used in the past to video and straight into OBS, various presentations back in the days when we had like in-person meetups versus everything being online. But today I'm just going to use it as a test subject for this little beauty and we'll see if it actually works. So let's grab it and we'll have a go. Now I'm doing the best thing of all is let's have a look at what it actually is that I'm holding right here. It's this little thing on amazon.com.au for $15.95. That's Australian dollars, mind you, not US dollars. $15.95 Australian dollars. These days with the exchange rate, there's not as big a difference as it used to be, but still, it's a very, very cheap deal for an HDMI 1080p supposedly. It says 4K in there, but I very much doubt it's 4K, but we're going to just try 1080p and see, will this work? Because in the past, I've brought no-name brand or even like very not well-known brands for a heck of a lot more than this. Of course, the king of the hill for this sort of thing is the Elgato Livecam, which sells for around $160. But we're going to see is this little, so basically 10 times as much as this. So let's give it a go. I'm going to pop it open. And let's have a look at it. I'm just using my basic little Logitech camera here, so it's not going to be the best picture in the world, but let's give it a go. Now, part of the reason for me getting this is that I am going to be in the near future upgrading my camera setup, hopefully. So this is the kind of thing I'm going to need for the new camera when it arrives. And I'll be doing another video all about that soon. But in the meantime, let's have a look. Will this actually work? Now, I've got down the bottom here, I've got my USB hub and already prepared off to the side here. I have my mini to full-size HDMI cable. The reason this needs to be a mini is because that's what the Sony uses. So into the big end we'll go cable like that. I'll scoot over to the Sony, reset it back because it's been powered off for a while, so it's gone back to just being in a demo mode. Now, let's see, the cable's a little bit on the short side, so I'm going to have to bring the camera a bit closer here to me. It's going to be really, I want it to be off out of the shot mostly, so we didn't get the whole crazy infinity mirrors effect, but there we go, plugged it into the USB port. Now, I am using Linux on this fantastic little Lenovo laptop with the AMD 4800U processor. There'll be another video about that too. That's an awesome new little laptop that I can't wait to tell everyone about. But in the meantime, let's have a look. I'm going to switch over to bring up here we go. Problem solved. Here's the terminal inside Visual Studio Code, so you can see what's going on. So let's just have a look again at dmessage. If I can spell it correctly, of course. And look at that. There's a whole bunch of these error messages. That doesn't look promising, does it? But let's see. All might not be lost. Let me come back over to OBS and see if I can add it as a source. Of course, you won't be able to see what I'm doing right now because I'm using OBS, so it would be a little bit hard for me to show you, but let's see if we can manage to get something to come up. Well, it does say USB video source. Here we go. Look at that. It's come up. Amazing. And not to keep you waiting any longer, I'm going to bring that in there. And look at that. That's you seeing me in the back of my head with the infinity mirror thing there. So why don't we just make that a little bit smaller. So there you go. You can see me, the back of my head. And now you can see me looking into you here. This is through this HDMI little dongle card. Yes, that $15.95 little card is producing the video you're seeing right now. I'm going to actually take it a bit off to the side so we can get rid of that. We're going to try and get rid of that. There we go. Oh, that wasn't so good. There we go. Got rid of that crazy infinity mirror effect. As you can see, this is looking pretty good. I'm going to switch back over to the looking at the monitor and the webcam, and we'll see if we can put the images side by side and see how we go. And have a look. That's not bad at all. Alrighty, but you don't want to see the back of my head. Let me grab the camera and put it next to me. So let me just pop it off that tripod's mount and see how we go here. So here you go. This is me looking into the Sony webcam running off the HDMI card. Excellent. And this is me looking at you through the webcam on my computer, the little very basic Logitech 270. So very old, very basic. Hey, this is not too bad at all. Well. This is color me impressed. This is actually not just working, which surprised me to start with, but it's actually working reasonably well. Now, let me pop that camera back on its tripod. Sorry for the bumping. And what I'll get is things I've used previously. Just bear with me for a second. And we're back. So here's a couple of, so I'm still using the HDMI streaming, the HDMI capture card, capturing the live footage off the camera. Now, the nice thing is that I just looked over and had a look. I can actually see in the Sony's viewfinder the little on-screen displays, but the HDMI signal is very clean. So for anyone who wants to have a nice better webcam, but doesn't want to go to the lengths of, say, having a very fancy mirrorless or DSLR camera, a nice middle ground could be using one of these older camcorders. So I might talk about the Sony camcorder, which I've been using for quite some time, in another episode, but today I'm talking about using it with that amazing $16 HDMI capture card. So as you can see here, this is one I got a while back, like maybe 2 years ago, maybe a bit longer, and I find it really, like, it does this, so that same thing as that other card, probably cost two and a half times as much at least back then, and I find it really bad quality. Like, it's very flaky, at least on Linux, which is where I use it all the time. Very flaky about when it connects and doesn't connect. Often there's errors and it doesn't connect properly. It's a real pain and really a big hassle to use. Originally I got it for exactly the same reason as this new one, to basically connect up this Sony web camcorder to my computer to capture, but I gotta say that Sorry folks, I was doing a bit of meddling with the camcorder because you might be able to see that. Ooh. I accidentally started recording. It went into its funny kind of standby demo mode. Anyway, like I said, I'll be talking about this camcorder another time. Now, in the meantime, what I then got was this little device here from Clona Alliance, the Flint LX, and I have used it again for about a year and a half, 2 years now. The main reason I got this was to use at live events because I'm a host of a local user or co-organizer of a local user group here. And when we were running in-person events, I'd be videotaping or recording most of those events. But what we wanted to do there was to be able to, excuse me, what we wanted to be able to do is capture people's slide decks coming out of their HDMI ports from their computers, and then also like capture that in our video using OBS, as well as displaying it to the projector in the room or hall that we were using for the meetups. So the reason I got this little device was the fact that it has, if you can see, I can show you there, I'm not sure if it'll focus nice enough. It's got input and output HDMI. And on the other side, it's got the obligatory USB 3 output that goes to your computer. But because it's got the input and output HDMI, what it can do is act as a pass-through. So it will pass through the HDMI signal that comes in, but also let you capture it with this box to your computer, just like I'm doing now with that little $16, I can't help saying that over and over again, $16, $15.95, little capture dongle. But the difference there is that it can't do pass-through. So now if I wanted to have this video going out from the camera to an external projector or something, or just another screen, we can't do that. With this little device you can. But this little device, I think I paid over $100, maybe $120 for it, or more even, a couple of years ago. And even it has problems with Linux. It's often, again, sometimes doesn't get set up correctly, doesn't connect correctly. I have to futz around with it sometimes even reboot the machine to get things to work properly. But amazing, this little device that I've just got connected straight away, no issues, no reboots, no problems at all. And the picture is actually looking quite good. I'm going to switch back round and talk to you through the webcam now. So here I am back with the webcam. I'm going to go full screen with it and move the other one. Oop, pardon me. We don't want to see the back of my head very much, and make that about as full screen as we can. So here I am back talking with you through the webcam that's here on top of the little Logitech that's here, sitting here on top of my monitor. So what can I say? I'm impressed. I'm going to actually see if I can tempt fate and actually pull that little USB device out. Maybe I'll just remove it from OBS, just not to tempt fate too much. So we'll just remove that from there, and then I should be able to unplug it and show it to you as I'm talking about it some more. So here it is. Now I have to say, slippery little sucker. It is a bit on the warm side. I don't know how long we've been recording, like, maybe a good 20 minutes using it now. And it has gotten a little bit warm. We're not talking about hot or anything. It's just like warm to the touch, like basically a little bit warmer than my fingers, but not that much more. But wow, color me impressed. So I had thought about buying the Elgato Live Cam. That's 160 odd Australian dollars. This one is 16, so 10 times cheaper. and so far it seems to work. Now, it doesn't mean that this thing won't overheat and blow up tomorrow. Could be, could be not. I'll do a more long-term report once I've had a chance to use it a bit longer and let you know how things get on. But in the meantime, I'm going to be making use of this a lot for an upcoming project I've got to upgrade my whole recording and streaming setup. I'll be making a new video about that soon, so tune in, subscribe to this brand new channel that I've got, and I'll be posting that video soon, and a lot of other videos that I've got in mind to tell you all about different bits of hardware, show you building little projects that I have in mind, making repairs to bits and pieces, even reviewing some things, including the laptop that I'm using at the moment to make this recording. So hopefully see you again